Hello and welcome. Welcome to you who are just tuning into the Women's Biz Tribe Success Summit. I am so thrilled that you've come to join us. My name's Anniegibbins. I'm the CEO of Women's Biz Tribe. And over today and tomorrow, we have 44 speakers from around the world sharing their views on what success is, what it means to them, what it feels like to them, what it might feel like to you, and what you're aspiring for. Plenty of tips and tricks along the way. We're all here to support you. And of course, you've all been given complimentary membership of Women's Biz Tribe for the next month. So pop on over, come and say hello, make yourself known to everyone, come to some webinars. We are looking forward to getting to know you. Now, let me introduce you to our next speaker. Her name is Pei-Ming Sun, and we call her Sunny, and she certainly is sunny. She is a bright ray of sunshine. She's an ex-molecular biologist, a tiny habits certified coach, a distinguished Toastmaster, an Amazon international best-selling author, and a lifestyle mentor. Sunny has created an integrated system and online community to support super caregivers who care too much, basically, over 40 to stop premature aging at the quantum level. So she's super passionate about activating and regenerating life energy so that you can truly come alive and be more impactful in your life. So looking forward to our conversation today. Welcome to the summit, Sunny.
Oh, thank you, Annie. I'm so excited to be here to get more sunshine for everybody. I'm not sure about your side. Maybe it's not that sunshine yet, but hey, here is still in the afternoon. We have plenty of sunshine to share.
So what's your message? What would you love to share with everyone today?
I want to share the living with grace. That's my framework, so we can have success and abundant life energy.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. And what does that mean to you? What is living with grace?
Well, grace is the 5 frameworks I practice every day. So that's my lifestyle. I have lived with grace for years now. So we would like to share that with people. The caregiver, of course, and also the driven and successful woman professionals over 40. We all need to have this abundant energy, right? And live with this grace framework, then we can be effortlessly just being successful any moments. So this is the message I'm going to share today.
Excellent. All right. Well, I'm just going to pass the baton over to you and you can tell us all about the grace method.
Thank you. Thank you for watching this. And like I share, the grace framework is my personal journey and also incorporate a lot of ancient wisdom and modern science. But before I go into that, let me ask one question. Do you know who you are? I mean, can you identify everything around you as a successful woman entrepreneur without your appearance, about your skills, without your titles, your names, and your ages? And so then what is after that? Or according to the current brain research too, like our emotion actually can be triggered by just electric currents in certain areas of our brains. And also based on the stem cell research in the 21st century and some of the ancient wisdoms, our body actually is preset program. Then our body would regenerate every single cell in 7 years cycle. So thus, we are not our thoughts, our emotions, and even our body. So let me ask you again, like, who do you know who you are? Well, let's put that question on the side. Let me have some interaction. If you're able to see the screen and want to type something to communicate with me, is the question, have you noticed something you got more or become less after 40? Not sure I can see any screen, but maybe Annie can help me if someone type it. If nobody, would you share how you feel like after 40? What things going more and what things getting less?
Okay, I've got Coach Love here and she's kind of saying hello from America. So Coach Love, I'd love you to drop on a comment, and anyone else listening in, definitely pop some comments in for
So like after 40, what things going up or what thing going down? Just share one area, one thing you experience.
Coach Love has gone and said she feels more confident.
Uh-huh. Going up. Mm-hmm.
What else? Oh, someone else says I can't see the screen. I'm not too sure if they can't see the screen or maybe their eyes are going a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. So for me, in my case, is I feel I have a low in life's energy. But now I feel I can celebrate every moment with my gratitude, the resilience and acceptance and consciousness and energy. So now I'm living a grace lifestyle. So that's how today I'm going to focus on to share my journey, how I flipped that script, and also my framework, the grace framework, with everybody watching us today. So when I started to share my life journey a little bit, so I mentioned about when I turned 40, I feel like I don't have enough energy, right? So I actually struggle a lot with my life purpose and also the loaded stress. See, around that time, I'm just get out unfaithful relationship with my ex, who is from China. And I also take all the full responsibility to raise my two sons. They are very young in that time, 5 and 3 years old. And I also work as a medical biologist in a pharmaceutical company in the US. And obviously, with all the stress or challenges I already have, I have another one is very difficult for a mother. My second son has been diagnosed with a genetic terminal disease called Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's called DMD in 2004 and has been through 6 major surgery ever since. So obviously, I'm not happy. I'm really stressed. I was very angry, resentful. I was just exhausted. However, after 2 years in the depressions and the anxiety, I just decided I don't want to live like that anymore. I need to be accountable for my son. And this I'm the only one they ever had, right? In that point. So that is my journey. So let me share with you the grace framework. The first letter of grace stands for gratitude. Well, I definitely really thankful for all the supported family members and friends throughout all my hardships. And also because we cannot really control the situation, right? Life just threw the ball to us. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's just not present. But I practice my gratitude every day as a habit is to thank everything I experience. Because then if I don't label them as a good or bad, I just appreciate it coming into my life. And also I live with my motto right now is I do not punish myself for somebody else's mistakes. And the second letter of grace is resilience. Resilience is a capacity or a mental toughness that we can bounce back quickly when facing difficulty and tough situations. I have totally loaded family stories relate to resilience. I can even trace back to my grandfather, who I never met. My grandfather was killed by communist Chinese governments in the 50s because as a landlord, he defended his own land passed down from our generations. But because communism not allowed this, so he got killed brutally. And my own father, now is aged 92, came to Taiwan as a teen. And he has nothing. He lost everything, family, land, status, money, nothing. But he had thrived to raise 3 of us in Taiwan with a very limited salary, but positive attitude. As for my son, now he's 25, is totally outlived with all the doctor prediction on the DMD boy. Usually they leave on the late teen. but he enjoyed every moment. And just using the technology called eye gaze, because everything neck down, he has no movements, but he can use his eyes to play games and even drive his power chair. As for me, well, I've been through so many different shifts in my life. And now I have a skills. I can live in the present moments and transform that stress into my strengths. And I can respond to any question with a positive attitude. And we also know actually resilience is the key factor to prevent our premature aging. How so? Well, based on a lot of study, particularly the book called The Telomere Effect, the author, one of them is the Nobel Prize winner, Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn, and the other is a famous psychologist, Dr. Eliza Appel. Based on the telomere effect, they study very stressful, very stressed caregivers. They are all taking care of dying kids. And they do find some of the caregivers, actually, they call it the stress resistant onliners. They have a longer telomere compared to other stressful caregivers. Well, the longer telomeres mean they have potential to live longer and with less chronic disease. So, wow. And just a little bit information about telomere. If you're not into science, the telomere structure are the repeated DNA sequences in the end of each chromosomes. Then, just like a shoelace, you have the little plastic thing to make the shoelace intact. That's exactly what telomere do to each chromosome. So when the cell divides, when the chromosomes separate to different daughter cells, they lose some of the length of the telomere in the end. So once the body see, oh, the cell has a very short telomere, and that's a signal for the body, no, the cell is getting old. Let's go into take care of business and recycle the parts for the newer ones. And think about that. So even the resilience, if you are stress caregivers, but then you know how to take care of yourself and you know how to actually flame that stress into the strength, then you can live longer. And that's exactly the resilient teaches the attitude is everything. And the third letter of grace is acceptance. Well, let me ask you a question first. Like why we feel pain, anxiety, or negative emotions sometimes. I wonder anybody want to share what your answer would be. Why we feel pain? Why we feel anxiety in there? Sometimes we don't like them, but they come in anyway. I wonder if any answer, type it in there if someone's there to share. Well, if not, I can always find out. Is anybody there? Any or
There
you
are
can guess.
people there. They've got lots of chats happening. We haven't got the answer to the pain one yet. We've got people being thankful about hard times, being accountable to themselves first. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Because we are resisting reality. Is that a good answer?
That's a good one.
Mm.
Wow, yeah, that actually is very close to what I'm going to share. But
Ah,
I really appreciate the direction. So we all think about the resistance. Well, is kind of that it's a confliction, constriction, resistance. What they does is let us become out of the sync because we have all the system in our body, right? We have connection with universe. So when we have a resistance, we just then we are not synchronized with everything around us. That's the major reason we feel like something is not right with me. So how can we do that? Like how can we get back to the synchronized self, right? So the first step is really the self-awareness. So then we can distinguish the conditioned self, which is out of sync, because we are not become the authentic self, or the true self, which is in sync. And I also actually share some of the ancient modalities to guide people through a self-discovery journey. And we begin to see ourselves in totally different lens. then we definitely take out more resistance because you see your true self close to you behave, your authentic self. So then you are out of the sync, you are become synchronized with the system other than try to force into a not your, you are not yourself, but you
Yeah.
want to fit in with the conditioned self. So that is really the acceptance I'm all about. The only
Mm.
time when we totally accept and love ourselves unconditionally, then we can start to generate all this great energy flow, all this joyful feelings, and even your body getting better. You lose a lot of weight. That's what happened to me. And you feel younger, you feel a radiance because you are just who you are. You're like a bundled, energetic body. And you can be anybody if you really just align with who you are. So that's acceptance. And the next one, the letter C, is for our consciousness. Well, consciousness is really a big buzzword. I typed to the Google search consciousness, boom, 1.5 billion hits coming
Whoa.
up. It's like, whoa. So everybody's talking about consciousness. However, not anyone can really define human consciousness yet. And they have a evolving science now, the science of consciousness. They each have an annual conference, but so far we just have a lot of great breakthrough, but no one can really define that yet. That's so exciting. It's just something we maybe say, oh, I don't even know consciousness equal to that. But for me, I just want to adapt to a model. It's simple because we relate to it. It's relate to our brain waves. And there's 4 brain waves we can experience all day. The first one is called delta. Where you are in the delta, that means you are kind of unconscious. You're like sleeping the deep sleep. Then the second one is a theta. Theta is kind of like semi sleeping, awakening, but you're totally just relaxed. And the third one is alpha. So alpha is, we call it relaxing or harmony mind, because then you don't have a resistance. Then of course the last one is the beta. It's like get it done, driven, goal oriented. Like we all need that too, but we don't want it all the time. So that 4 brainwave actually kind of in and out for our consciousness. So sometimes deep sleep we are unconscious, right? When we're getting a little bit in that's like subconscious mind, and we get relaxed, still lying down in the bed, get ready to get up. That's alpha. Then you start to go on or go into the traffic, and that's beta. And when we are young, when you are younger than 7 years old, we are in the theta brainwave. That's how the childhood downloads. We download all the information around us. We don't even understand or have any judgment or label. We just download it into our subconscious mind. And this system will become our life operating system, or you can call it habits, because you don't even know you have the habit. It's autopilots in your body. So when you young, you don't know, and you just have a loaded of information. But later in life, sooner or later, you will be triggered by something you downloaded with. Maybe it's just an image, or maybe a sound, or maybe something you don't understand. You just triggered by it. Then those things will come back to let us feel this trigger emotions, and sometimes very uncomfortable. So someone with really sensitive body, they can even have a physical pain, or the eating issue, sleeping issue, or it's just sabotaging, thing because someone say you're not good enough when you are 5 years old, and you have that download. You don't even understand what's the good enough mean, but that is sounding in your mind like a program, right? So we
Yeah.
will have that. Then that's the conscious will really get to a little bit tricky because they are unconscious, but they are there. They are our operation system. But so the good way is for us to thank, appreciate all the triggers. I don't like triggers. I don't know about you. I don't. I am not ready for triggers, but
Yeah.
they are our lifelong friend. If they don't, they are not there to show up in our life in the later. We don't even know we have some kind of download. We need to take it out. There's just not the right program. We need to download the right one, right? So have a positive attitude. We can choose to download it when we are older. So that I really encourage people, treat all the emotions and something that's a gift. They come in for a reason. Then we can wake up and can evolve to a higher state. Just thank for that triggers coming in the right time for us to aware. So then after that, we do have a way to get into the alpha state when we talk about relaxing and harmony, right? There's so many things you can do. You might know about like meditations and contemplation and doing like a qigong, movements and tai chi or yoga. They can all kind of calm us down into a beta state. So then we can more have the brain and heart coherence. When you coherence, that is in sync. That's why we don't feel pain. We can sleep better. We can lose weight. We can have tons of energy because nothing blocks us, right? So that is the beautiful of these movements we can practice. In particular, one I want to share is originate from Taiwan. It's a Kung Fu master called Sifu Li Feng-san. He's practicing for more than 30 years, and he shared that around the world. And based on all the information coming back to thank him, whenever you practice that simple movement, Qigong is only 100 days. So many people has benefits and they are just treat them as miracles. So if you really like to learn and how to, I like to demo that with you because I have so many events in my community. I definitely love people to know there is options. You can do like very simple things 3 times a day, 10 minutes a day. Then you can achieve that brain and heart coherence and let energy flow beautifully all day long. The next one is my key things I know, the energy. Well, the energy is really, a lot of people think food is energy. We need to eat a lot of food. But in fact, food is the last energy source we can get from. The first one is the sunlight. The second one is the air. And third one is the water. Then that's the food. But because we believe we need a lot of energy, so we think maybe we eat more food. But quite opposite, when we eat too much, our system actually stressed out. Then it create a lot of stress added on to the stress we already have from our lifestyle. And if we have totally loaded stress, no wonder our energy couldn't flow. We feel tired. We might boost a little bit, but then we crash, right? That's because though the stress created by eating too much or drinking all the energy drink. And the really good way for us to practice energy is to go outside, have a walk under the sun, and drink clean water and eat whole food. And also just have more of the great attitude. And it just open ourselves, allow things to happen. Don't label it and don't stress out with conditioned self. You just be relaxing and trust the process. But there's a whole thing, we can always boost our energy. So I do have a lot of tips, but I think today is not really have a lot of time. But I invite everybody to follow and check out my free global community called Sunny Life Solutions. In there, I would like to unite with people who want to get better in their energy source, and so they can have more way to impact more life through their services. And also, I believe there's 3 things you can take away from today's presentation. The first is we don't need to be fixed. We just need to stay open. We need to love ourselves. We need to be aware about all the essence and gifts inside our body and synchronize it. And that we do need to have a good habits too. And implementation with all this movements and good foods and exercise is all the great way for us to maintain in sync. So I believe we might have a little time to have a Q&A. So I thank you for your attention. I would love to see whether you have any quick questions so I can answer.
Oh, Thank you so much. I'm just loving your energy and your flow, Sunny. It just, yeah, really, really clear. I love acronyms, gratitude, resilience. What have we got? Acceptance, consciousness, energy. Absolutely love it. What have we got in the chat? Feel that I won something in jeopardy for guessing the last word. Yes. People are even guessing where you're heading, which I love that. I absolutely love that. Yeah, we're talking about, I think some other comments are finding triggers are often attached to us based off things that we're insecure about from the past, right? So something that we haven't liked is just anchored on, that's something we want to avoid. And then when you touch it, like it's just like any little thing goes near it, it's so reactive and so responsive, right? It's like dynamite sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah. And you say something, do something, you don't even know you can do that, right?
Yeah, you can just trigger it like totally accidentally, right? You're just going about your way, and then suddenly, someone will get this amazing response. And it's like what you were saying before, and obviously we can only just address it superficially, but it's that they haven't actually addressed it. They've just kind of just put it away and tiptoed around it. And whereas you're actually saying, you got to bring that out, you got to get rid of that, you've got to then replace it with, really strong narrative in your mind, words that you say to yourself, a graceful way to be living. I absolutely love all of that. So if anyone else has got any questions, type them in. I think this has been a really responsive, lovely, lovely session that we've had today. Sunny, that's just really great. And I love your program. So, yeah, if anyone wants to go directly to Sunny, go to sunnylifesolutions.com. Sunny is also doing one of our incubator programs. So she's in the tribe quite a bit, which is awesome. So she's very, very easy to find in the tribe, and she would love to talk to any of you about, more about the work she does. I love her fascination with energy. As a high energy person myself, I just absolutely love the whole topic of, keeping energy. I think a lot of people get fascinated going, I don't have energy, or I feel depleted. And it's just so interesting when you start looking on this level. It's like, yeah, well, how are you approaching, yourself holistically, and what's coming in, and also what's just draining you. It's a fascinating topic. And yeah, I look forward to further dialogue on there. We're out of time now because our next speaker is going to be coming on. Her name is Connie, and I know that she is getting ready. But I do want you to keep putting your questions in the chat, because Sunny is going to come in there after this session, and she's going to be able to chat with you as well.
Yes.
One final comment. Can we connect the idea of appropriate boundaries and energy?
Yeah, exactly. That's my last year life lessons. I did have boundary finally. Yeah, I would love to chat with people, just like Annie say. I'm in the tribe. I'm totally fascinated about this program, the summit. I'm catch up with all the workshop and the talks, and I love to invite with anybody to connect with me. So
fantastic. So Coach Love, you be first in line, because I can see you very engaged in this session. So definitely do some dialogue here, get onto our Facebook group together, come to a webinar with us, and just start exploring all of these topics. This is exactly what we do. We love to have vibrant conversations that are going to give you real tools that you can action quite quickly to be able to really break through some areas that have been challenging. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Sunny.
thank you, everyone. Yes.
Love that. Thank you, everyone listening in. Don't go away very long, because our next speaker is going to be here in about 2 minutes. So have an awesome day, everyone who might be leaving us if you have to head off to work, or some of us are going to sleep, some of us are waking up. I absolutely love it. So we've been powering through overnight in the US time, and now the Aussies like me are all waking up and going, right.
We are all in sync.
Exactly. We're all in sync. And the great thing is, because I'm a total technology lover, you can just watch replay. It's fantastic. Don't miss a thing. So we look forward to seeing you again in the next session.
Bye.